All right. What is up, everybody? Uh, Welcome to another live episode of the Guitar Gear Trader. I'm Steve, coming at you from Nashville, Tennessee, as always. Today, we are going to be, like we always do every Sunday, it seems these days, is that we are going to go on guitar safari to different cities around the country, which is pretty cool. So far, we've been to Nashville. We've been to Dallas. Last week we went to Seattle. And today we have been asked to go visit the City of Angels in California, Los Angeles, the home of what I think of, the home of hair metal, right? Whenever I think of LA, I always think of like Motley Crue, Poison, Rat, all those types of bands. Not sure what the scene is there now. Like Seattle, when I did Seattle last week, you think of the grunge scene, Nirvana. Who else was in there? Pearl Jam, all that kind of stuff. Today, I will be picking on my Murphy Lab 1964 SG reissue. It's a pretty sweet guitar. I do have a little conundrum with it, though, because I don't play it a lot. And not because it isn't great, because it is great. It's just my R9 Les Paul is so much more, got so much more oomph, has so much more balls than this one, that I don't play this one a lot. And I'm like contemplating trading it, and I got this for such a good price. I got this for like $3,000 cheaper than anywhere else. So like the thing is, like when you trade guitars away, one thing that always comes into my mind is, am I ever going to be able to get that guitar back? And if I'm never going to, if I feel like I'm never going to be able to get that guitar back, that's a big, keeping point, or a point that I use to keep the guitar. How hard will it be to get it back? Because this was one of my dream guitars for my entire life. And then I got it and I loved it. And like, I was like, this is it. This is the guitar. And then I got that R9, and like everything changed once I got that R9. Like there's nothing that touches my Gibson R9 Les Paul. But this guitar is pretty sweet. So let's go to Los Angeles. Last week we did a lot of Craigslist, and we did very little Facebook. So let's start with Facebook today. See if I can get you on there first. We'll go through Facebook, because Facebook seemed to be better in San Francisco than it was in not San Francisco. Was it? No, Seattle. In Seattle, the Facebook was better than the Craigslist. So we'll start there. So let me just change this up. This was Seattle, Washington. Let's change this up to Los Angeles. How's Los Angeles not the first one that comes up? There it is. Okay. LA, California. If you live in California, please say hi. Okay, just did an easy search for guitar in LA, 100 miles of LA. See what we got here. So far, it's already looking better than Dallas and Seattle. Seattle was better than Dallas. Let's see, we got a Les Paul Standard 50s Faded for $17.99. It's not a bad price. I think the Fadeds would be more around $1,500 in my opinion. I think $1,500 is a better range for the faded ones. A lot of people say that they like the faded ones are supposed to be better. Now, I don't know if this is just like coping or if it's true, but they say like the nitrocellulose finish kind of holds the wood back or some crap. and that the non-lacquered ones resonate better. I don't know if that's a bunch of crap or not, but all I know is they did less work to this, so it should be less money. So I think 1800 is good for a standard with the gloss finish. I think 1500 might be a better price for the faded version. A Gibson Gospel. I've seen one of these in Nashville, and what is this? I don't know what a gospel is. What's a Gibson Gospel? It just says 92 Gibson Gospel acoustic with a rare earth pickup. A rare earth pickup. No case. Wants $1,400 for an acoustic with no case. I don't know. I don't know what the gospel part is. It looks like your standard hummingbird shape. Hummingbird, dove, kind of broad-shouldered dreadnought shape. No frills, inlays, just dot inlays. I'm not sure exactly what model that is. Got a PRS. Guitar collection, $1. I love when things say that. Let's see what we got. Hello. I'm selling off my guitars because I'm upgrading my collection, which means this collection isn't upgraded, I guess. I have pretty much everything that the guitars came with new. They all play well. Any questions, feel free to ask. And thanks for looking. That's very nice of them. Let's see, we got a Fender. It says number 1 Fender Player Strat. So his pictures don't match his numbers, but that's okay. So let's see if we can find the Player Strat first. Here's our Player Strat. Okay, white 50s Player Strat. He's got a custom Jason Isbell. I guess that's that. Telly wants $1,150 for that. Is that a Mexican made Telly? I want to say it is. A Taylor GS Mini for $400. That's not a bad price. Gibson Les Paul Tribute $850. That's a good price. Positive Grid Spark 40 for $40. For $150. That's okay. And the Boss RC1 pedal for $65. So here's your Les Paul Tribute for $850. That's not a bad price. That's fair, I think. There's your Fender Player Strat. I'm assuming it's a Mexican Strat, $575. It's a fair price. Got a blue pickguard and tremolo case if you want to switch that over. Taylor GS Mini, $400. Again, that's a fair price. That's a good campfire guitar. Put some stickers all over it. Boss Loop Station, $65. That's not crazy. That's not a crazy price. They all have gig bags. Here's your Spark 50. I think this guy's pretty fair. He wants to upgrade his stuff. I wonder what he's going to do, though. That would be a good question for him. Like, you're selling all this stuff. Are you looking to sell all this and get one really good guitar and amp combo? Because let's say he gets all the prices he wants. He would have about 1740, 17.5, 17.7. If he sells everything for the price he wants, he's looking at like $2,500. What do you get for $2,500? What's he going to do? You know, what's Zach going to do for $2,500? Is he going to do like an upgraded American used Fender? You know, get himself a good American made Telly and a twin reverb or something like that. What's he going to do with that? Got a little Ricky action, little Rickenbacker. Their home is in California somewhere. I know that's where they're made. 1991 620 in Jeklo, $1,800. That's not too bad considering today's market. Today's market's crazy. Today's market is crazy. So I remember you used to be able to get this exact guitar brand new for like $1,200-$1,300 pre-COVID. But $1,800 is not bad. And it's semi-vintage-ish, right? I mean, that's a 30-year-old guitar, 35-year-old guitar at this point. It's got the yellowing on the binding a little bit. These 620s can be pretty decent rock guitars if you want them to. Not like metal or anything like that, but you can get them. If you put some good overdrive on it, you can get some good rock tones out of that guitar, and they're nice to play. That's a good one. $1,800 for that. You can probably talk them down a little bit. What else? We got another Rickenbacker here. 1600. Wow, that's a really good price, everybody. I'm letting everyone know right now, this is the pick of the day. Unless something else comes along, this is the pick of the day. If you live in Huntington Beach, go pick this guitar up. Okay, this is a Rickenbacker 360. Okay, they have different models for Rickenbackers. This model is the 360. It has the softer horns instead of the pointy ones, and it's got binding on the back and binding in the cat eye here. It's, if they flip it over, he doesn't flip it. Oh, well, you can kind of see it here. You can see the binding on the back side of the guitar. The 330s are similar body shape, but they have pointed horns and they have dot inlays instead of the shark fins, binding on them. This is the upgraded model. So this is the higher model of the two in the 330, 360 range. And for $1,600 to get it in midnight blue is a kind of a rare color for Rickenbackers. So if you're looking to get a Rick, this is a very, very good price for a guitar. Let's see what it says. I bought this guitar almost 25 years ago from an online auction from Norm's Rare Guitars. Been in its case under my bed, not played. Guitar looks new because it basically is. Cash only, no trades. 2002 Rickenbacker 360 Midnight Blue. Yeah, he's not wrong. Discontinued electric guitar. You can get them in blue, but they're going to be going for a lot more money than $1,600. I think they'd be in the mid twos probably in this condition. So jump on that one. That's the pick of the day so far, and we just started. We're only like, I don't know how far we're into the show. 11 minutes into the show, and I already got the pick of the week. Let's see what else we got here. I don't know anything about Taylor, so I'm not going to click on it. 2024 Hummingbird, listed in Chino, California. Original Heritage Cherry Sunburst acoustic guitar. Yeah, it looks nice. It looks brand new. I wonder why he doesn't want it, though. He must have just bought it. It's a 2024 rather. So, not sure why he doesn't want it. But it's a beautiful guitar. It's a Hummingbird. It's going to sound great. I had a Hummingbird. I just sold one, actually. What else we got? ESPs I don't know much about. Like I said, Taylors I don't know much about. It has to be an Epiphone. They don't say it, though. It just says ES335 Pro guitar, $800. Yeah, it's an Epiphone. It's an Epiphone. We're not looking at Epiphones. Washburn 820. Wow. I don't know anything about Washburns, but that's a pretty hefty price tag for this thing. $2,250. $2,550. Looks pretty. Cool flame. Nice back on it. I don't know anything about Washburns. I always thought they weren't great. Maybe back in the day they were really good for like shredding 80s. What do we got here? Guild D50BG, the bluegrass model. These are great guitars, everybody. Don't sleep on Guild guitars. These are just as good as, Martin D18s. These are good guitars. American made. Good stuff. $1,800, not too bad. $1,500 for a Les Paul. I want to say it's a classic because of the pickups and like seafoam green. Les Paul should not be Oh, yeah, it is a classic. It shouldn't be seafoam green though. Les Paul should never be seafoam green in my. Leave that to Strats and Tellys. Les Paul should be black, white, tobacco burst, cherry sunburst, gold top. That's it. My opinion. Just a simple man's opinion. Not bad price though. $1,500 for a classic. Pretty good price. Gibson Songwriter. These are really good guitars too. $1,400 for a Gibson Songwriter is a pretty good price. So far, LA is coming through. LA is doing it right so far. This is by far, not including Nashville, this is by far the best guitar safari we've been on. Nashville, you can get everything too. Everything you want. The prices are higher in Nashville, so this might be better. Who knows? So far, the prices here are pretty good. $14.95 for a Gibson Songwriter is pretty good. Here's another Guild. This is D55. This is the upgraded model. This is like the Martin D40 series, D42, 41, 40 series. So it has all the obnoxious inlays. And when I say obnoxious, I absolutely love it. But other people think that this, all this inlay of mother of pearl and, all around the F hole, the sound hole and the binding on the front and the back, it's really fancy. This is dressed up to the nines, but these D55s are extremely nice guitars. I have an older Guild. I have a Guild from the 80s, but it's a 12 string. I love it. It's really nice, but I would love to get my hand. I don't play acoustic enough. That's the problem with me. I just don't play acoustic enough. What else we got here in City of Angels? G&L, I don't play them. Epiphones. American Professional 2 Strat for $1,100. That's a fair price. Still got the stickers on it. No dings, no scratches. Perfect condition. Sounds creamy and clean. Made in America. I wish I could see that. Yeah, it's a Professional 2. That's a good price. That's a really good price. We're getting some good things here in Los Angeles, I gotta say. If you're in LA and you're looking for some gear, Facebook has some good deals. Kalamazoo, Guild. This is like one of Guild's like lower end models, not made in America. It says designed in California, which means somebody made a picture of it in California and sent it to China. Let's see. Gibson Southern Jumbo. People in Nashville want crazy prices for these guitars. People around here want probably like no less than $2,500 for a Southern Jumbo. But they have crazy ones here. They have these custom shop Southern Jumbos with all these fancy inlays and headstock labels. And so $2,100 for Southern Jumbo is not too bad. J45, $2,200. That's okay. That's an okay price. You can literally get one from the Gibson Custom Shop for that same price. It's brand new. Anybody know what song that is? Want to take a guess? I don't know if you can hear it. If you can guess, let me know. Not too bad of a price, but not a great price. 1974. I don't know what brand that is. D'Angelico, not interested. Epiphone Casino for $700. That's too much. That's way too much. You can get a brand new one for $500, I think. I'm pretty sure you can get a brand new Epiphone from like Sweetwater for like $500-$600. Why are you going to pay $700 for a used one? Maybe the Korean made ones are better than I don't know. Are the new ones made in China? I'm going to go to, here, I'll share my screen with you here. I'm going to go to Sweetwater real quick. Check out where new casinos are produced. Oh, they're brand new for $700. Okay. I thought they were a little cheaper than that. Let's see where they're made. But why not get a brand new one for the same price? Why not get a brand new one? A sticker on the back. I'm not sure where these are made. They might be made in China or Indonesia. Maybe they're not Korean made anymore. I'm not sure. Doesn't have the sticker on it like I thought they would. They used to have stickers on them. But for $700, you might as well go buy a new one. Why are you going to buy someone else's no warranted guitar? Unless, and it has it's got upgraded tuners, I guess. It's got Grovers in it. It's all dusty. Love these guitars. They're really good. But get them as cheap as you can. Sweetwater had stupid deal of the day on casinos. They wanted like $4.99 for them. Didn't last very long. They sold out of that quick. What's this? Another GNL. What is this thing? This belongs on Riffs, Beards, and Gear. Ridiculous reverb listings. And if you watch Riffs, Beards, and Gear, let me know, or let him know that I mentioned them. This is definitely a ridiculous listing. The hell is this? This guitar took a month and a half to finish. The gears work. It's a piece of art that I hope will be appreciated. The gears work, but the guitar doesn't, obviously. So you're just buying a piece of art. I mean, God bless people that do this. This takes a lot of time, takes a lot of energy. It's a beautiful thing, right? I would never be able to make this. It's cool looking. $2,500. I mean, is it just covered in copper? Is the whole thing just covered in copper, or did they pay? They got to give you more of a description, like, of how they did this, don't you think? I mean, it's cool. Well, they have a whole bunch of art. They have a violin. What is this? I want to look at this one. So it's a guitar, an acoustic or a classical guitar that has a keyboard from a piano set into it and a violin coming out of it like a conjoined twin. People are super creative. Very creative. $2,500. You might be sitting on that a while. We will see. What else we got here besides my kids yelling in the background? Martin 00015. PRS Silver Sky. Come on, where's my high-end stuff? Ibanez, $1,700 for an Ibanez? You gonna buy an Ibanez? Or you gonna buy a Gibson archtop? Like, who's paying $1,700 for an Ibanez copy of a ES 175? I don't think ES 175s are all that much. I bet you can find one that's. This is vintage. It's from 73. Maybe that's why he wants. Yeah, all right. It's a vintage guitar. It's in really good shape. Good for him. Gibson LG2 Nathaniel Ratliff guitar. Nathaniel Ratliff as in he played it or owned it, or is it a signature model? It doesn't say. These LG models for Gibson were like the they were like the student guitars back in the day, I think. Laravies, they're expensive. I don't know anything about Larrivee guitars. All right. Did we run out of all the good stuff so far? I think we might have run out of all the good things. Everything else is kind of like Mexican-made Strats and Epiphones and Gibson SG Special, $1,200. I think that's a little too much. I think that should be in that same realm of Les Paul Studio. That should be more in the $850 range, in my opinion. Because you can get a standard for $1,200 probably, with the nicer inlays and the better pickups. PRS 509. What's a 509? I had a 408. What's a 509? You can get 5 different sounds with a 509. Actually, 5. You get 9 different sounds. Get 9 different sounds. Really good flame top, though. Is it a 10 top? Probably a 10 top. Looks really nice. Almost $4,000, though. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. Here you go. Gibson SG Standard, $1,500. You can get this person down a little bit, probably. You can probably get that for $13,000. I like these brown ones. I mean, obviously the red ones are the ones everyone thinks of. The cherry red SGs or the Pelham blue ones, like this beauty right here. But I like the brown ones. If I could find one of these brown ones for a cheap price in like a pawn shop or something. I went to a pawn shop. That's a story. Went to a pawn shop the other day looking for some PA gear. Asked the lady behind the counter, who was very sweet, if I could test it out. And she let me. And it didn't work. I was upset. I was going to buy it. She thought I was going to buy it. I thought I was going to buy it. But this is a good price, everybody. Check this out. Gibson Southern Jumbo Deluxe. It's a 70s model. It's hard to tell the 70s, like what exact year, because they don't number them like they do today. Like from the 80s on, you could literally figure out what day of the year a guitar is made. But back in like the early 70s, they didn't do it that way. So it's just kind of like a range. Like, it's a 70s because of the numbers within a range. As long as everything in this guitar is in good nick, $18.50 is not a bad price. Neck is nice and thick. Fits in the hand like a perfectly worn-in pair of shoes. Who's putting shoes on their hands? Fits in the hands like a perfectly worn-in pair of shoes. Why not? Why wouldn't you say like a pair of gloves? Fits in your hand like a perfectly worn-in pair of gloves. Fits in your hand like a perfectly good pair of shoes. Bakersfield. Reef. This guy's name is Reef. Trade a guitar with Reef. That looks like a good one. PRS S2 McCarty. I don't know why people are paying $1,500 for these guitars. Not sure. I personally stay away from the S2s and the CEs and all that stuff. Fender 62 Telecaster from 85, made in Japan. I think I said it last week, and if anyone here remembers me saying this last week, I said every time I go onto a Craigslist or a Facebook or one of these Guitar Safari videos, there's a red telly with double binding on it for sale. Everywhere we go. Doesn't matter. It's the same guitar. Nobody wants this guitar in any city that you're in. So stay away from that one, because you're probably not going to like it. What else we got? Here we go. See? That's what I'm telling you. SG. I don't know if it's one of the worn ones, but it's the same one that we looked at before, except that it probably doesn't have the gloss finish on it. But it's the same guitar for $950. It's like almost $300 less. See, I told you that guy was too high. Ooh, here we go. A 1969 J200. $7,000. Brand new, they're like $5,000-$6,000. So for a vintage one from the 60s, that's not a bad price in today's market. That's not a bad price, in my opinion. It's a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. It's a ton of money. But if you want this is the guitar that everybody wants, right? Every acoustic player wants a vintage J200, so they can be like Tom Petty and Elvis and George Harrison. Probably sounds amazing. Probably light as a feather too. It's probably all dried out and nice and awesome. Drop some comments in there if you're watching. Ask some questions. Interact with me. I like talking to people. Here's another D55. One of those fancy Guilds. Ooh, it's got a little nick in it. $2,800. That's a good price. $2,800. Pretty good price. You can get them down. Get them down to like $2,300, $2,400. These are great guitars. 1982 3-knob Telecaster. Dan Smith. Pre-2 knob. So this might not be a Dan Smith. It might be when Dan Smith took over, but these might be leftovers from the person before Dan Smith. So in the 70s, like the late 70s, Fender was not doing very well. They were sending out kind of crappy equipment. And Dan Smith kind of wanted to reinvent the brand, bring it back to like kind of its roots. and he made these Strats with only 2 knobs, and the input jack was like a typical, I don't know, like what you would see on like a ES335, like a front mounted, a top mounted, I guess, top mounted jack. But it was a straight in jack, not one of these like side profile jacks like you'd have normally on a Strat. And there was no access to the tremolo on the back of the guitar either. I had one of these. I actually really liked it. It had a lot more balls than any other Strat I had, but I don't play Strats, so I sold it. Oh, look at this one. For all the Oasis fans out there, $1,000 for a Noel Gallagher Supernova. $1,000. Oh my God. For an Epiphone. Seems crazy to me at this point. I remember you could have bought this brand new for like $499. Brand new. $499 at the time. What else we got here? All right. Why don't we switch over to another Rickenbacker. Very Rick heavy in California. I thought that would be the case. $1,500 for a 330. See, this is the other model. This is the lesser model. That blue one is the more expensive one. This is the no frills model. No binding, pointy horns. I like the shape of this better, to be honest. I wish this had binding and shark fin inlays. They do make those, but they're much more expensive. This has the dot inlays. This is the no frills one. This should be $1,500 is not bad for this, to be honest, but you can probably get this for $13 if you contact the guy. But someone jump on that blue one. Please, somebody jump on that blue Rick. Gretsch Duo Jet, $1,700. That's a fair price. Made in Japan. $1,100 for $1,000 for a Butterscotch 60th anniversary telly. That's not a bad price. That's fair. I think that's fair. $1,000 for sure. He shouldn't have any issue getting that money for that. Okay, let's jump over to Craigslist real quick. And we got to change cities. U.S. cities. Los Angeles. For sale. I don't have my glasses on and my contacts in, so I'm squinting all over the place today. Let's see. We got a Dobro. First off, we have a Dobro from the 80s. Don't know anything about those. I'm not looking at keyboards. Synthesizers. 58 Strat. Damn. Hello. 2-owner vintage 1958 Strat. 100% original. Guitar's in great condition for its age. Back of the neck shows weather checking. Normal wear. Plays as good as any 50 Strat. Comes with original tremolo arm, bridge cover, 50s guitar strap. It doesn't say how much he wants. Oh, yes, he does. $48,750. Price is firm, everybody. Damn, he just has it listed on Craigslist. I mean, this doesn't do anything for me because I don't play Strats. But, I mean, it's like a holy grail guitar. It's like, 58 Strat. I wonder if he's going to sell it or if he's going to give it to Norm for like 30 or 25 over at Norm's Rare Guitars. More synths, pianos, drums. Gibson 57 classic pickup. $100 for one pickup that you took out of your guitar. Sell that for $75. Little full tone pedal, $450. So is like the first one ever made. Full tone OCD. Very good condition with light signs of use. Rare and highly sought after. Version 1.2. I don't know. These pedals are so weird. I just watched a video from Andertons. I rewatched it. I watched it a long time ago, but they did like a Klon shootout, and they had a real Klon, like a $5,000 real vintage Klon, and they put it up against like 7 other Klons in the store from various price points. And like every single one of them sounded exactly the same as one another. So I bought the cheapest one that they had on their setup, which was the Behringer one. And I absolutely love it. I thought it was great. So This whole pedal thing, you know, like guitars sound different. Like one Les Paul to the next sounds different, but like I think these pedals, I think that they should be pretty consistent from one to the next. A 1962 Silvertone, that's pretty cool. $2,000 though. This was like a guitar they sold in like the J.C. Penney catalog or the Sears catalog. $2,000. I mean, it's cool. It's in good shape. I tell you one thing. I have I have a vintage like K model guitar from the 60s, and I got to tell you, the pickups are almost non-existent. Like you plug it into an amp, and you have to crank the amp so loud to hear the pickups that it gets so noisy. Like the amp gets so noisy. 61 Guild Starfire, $7,000. You're crazy. These are all over Nashville for like $1,500. You can get vintage Starfires all day long in Nashville. Nobody wants them. What else we got? A lot of pedals on LA Craigslist. 68 Basement bucks. That's not too bad. More pedals. A 63 Epiphone Wilshire. $4,000. All right, the Craigslist people in LA are out of their minds. The Facebook people are way more grounded. No way, $4,000 for a student Epiphone. Pass on that one. Pass on that one. Get yourself a really cool 70s Telly for $4,000. What else? A lot of speakers. $15,000 for a Les Paul Studio signed by Linkin Park. That seems excessive. No, Craigslist isn't near. Oh, what's this? No, Evans. Craigslist isn't nearly as good as the Facebook in LA. So Craigslist LA and Facebook LA is two totally different worlds. Here's a casino. Someone wants $900 for a casino. A 2013 Epiphone Casino inspired by John Lennon. Is that like a special model? I don't know if that was like a limited run. Maybe if it was a limited run, maybe it warrants a higher price. There's another guild. Lots of guilds in LA. That's pretty nice. Like a 00 model. Like if it was a Martin. Got a nice binding on it. Good finish. Washburn, little piano action. All right, people. I think that's going to do it for me today. Thanks for coming on Guitar Safari with me. A little Soldano amp. Never played through a Soldano. They're supposed to be pretty good. A little custom shop Les Paul. He wants a new price for that. He wants like you can go to Sweetwater and pay $6,500 for it. Oh, now we're hitting the good stuff. Oh, you can get an empty Friedman shell for $300. Just in case. But all right, people. Thanks for being with me today. I appreciate it. Let me know what city you want me to go to next week. Someone last week had mentioned like the two front runners for this week were New York and LA. So maybe next week we'll go to New York. We'll go to New York with my old stomping grounds, and we'll see what's over there. But thanks for watching, everybody. Next week on the channel, I have a really special episode coming up with that SG right there. Really cool story about this SG. So make sure you watch that video. It'll be up on Friday for your viewing pleasure. See you later, everybody. Peace out.